How old are you, Lori? I happen to be Arnie's current girlfriend, and I go by the name Willa, so it's very nice to meet you. And to be open with you, I'll let you know how old I am. I happen to be a ripe 22 years old. So one more time now, can you please tell me how old you are? I'm sorry, but I'm not quite sure what's going on here. You are Arnie's girlfriend, Willa? How did you end up finding my phone number? I went ahead and found it in Arnie's phone contacts and copied it. And right now, both Arnie and I are out having a really good time tonight. He just ended up finishing the fun times he was having with me and is now sleeping peacefully in the hotel bed. His face when he's sleeping is so cute that I just want to go up and kiss him over and over again. So anyway, I went ahead and took a look at his phone, copied your phone number into my contacts, and now I'm texting with you. So you haven't even told Arnie about how you've gone through his phone or anything yet? I'm sure that if he found out about you doing something like that, he'd be very upset, right? I'll be fine. The both of us trust one another so much that we told one another our phone's passwords. So that means the both of us can look at one another's smartphones whenever we please, right? And by now, the two of us are going to get married. So what's wrong with me having a look through his phone? We have to be open with each other now. So no time like the present to start looking around and seeing if he's had anything hidden from me. Is that so? I'm glad you are so open about the relationship the two of you have. Thanks. So, why are you texting me right now? I had asked how old you are. Did you not just see that message? Just by the looks of the photo he has saved on here of you as the profile picture, you seem to be pretty up there in age. Perhaps you're almost in your late 30s by now? Huh? So you're telling me that your reason for texting me out of the blue? Don't you see that sort of reasoning is a bit rude as well? Just because of my photo, you're going to judge the age I am? Is Arnie really going to be getting married to someone of your likes? Unbelievable. I thought he could do a lot better. I'm sure it's so painful being that jealous of me, right? But I'd be careful, because if you get that upset in your age, you might end up bursting some blood vessels. You are far too old to be working yourself up that much, so calm down, please. Although, I'm sure you can't calm down right now considering you have to talk to me. Well, I'll make all of this quick for you, as long as you give me an answer to the question I had. I am a bit younger than you assumed, at the age of 29. And, as of right now, I am single, but I'm working a job I really love, and am able to do all the time with freedom. So please, do not feel as though you have any right to look down on me because of my age, when I'm living a life that makes me happy. Wow, you really are like some old aunt or something, huh? I guess the moment you have to bring up your age and that you're single to anyone, you go right to saying you at least have a job that makes you happy, so it's okay? Well, I know those excuses all too well. I really want to focus on my job. I am too busy with work right now for a man. I have so much going on with my career right now that there is no time in my life for a man. I'm so happy to see another middle-aged woman resorting to the classic excuses of having work instead of a man at your age. I answered your question now, so please, leave me alone, as I don't have the time right now to let you get on my nerves. If you have anything else you want to talk about in the future, go through your boyfriend instead. Now, never text me again, please. Arnie, are you going out with someone named Willa right now? I know this question's a bit sudden and all, but I just need to know.
Huh? Yeah? But why do you, of all people, know about her already?
I knew you had no clue about this. I'm sure what I'm going to be telling you next then will come as a big surprise. Yesterday, I got a few texts from her out of nowhere. She seemed really in the mood to start a fight or something with me. Just by how rude she was in getting answers from me, and about how much she talked about hers and your relationship. Are you and her all right now? Has she been up to anything that sort of rubs you the wrong way?
What? You got some text from Willa yesterday? At what time? How was she even able to learn about your phone number in the first place? I've never even talked with her about you before, nor have I ever given her your contact info.
And that's something that I'd really like to ask about myself. Well, I had heard her explanation yesterday, though. She told me that after you guys had fooled around last night, you fell asleep at the hotel. And she was looking at your sleeping face and bragging about it. She was looking through your phone and came across my number. She said she then copied it to her phone and started to text me.
Huh? She was talking to you about something as personal as that? I'm sorry, but she should know better than to talk about our private activities. I feel embarrassed now. You're my sister of all people.
I'm sure she doesn't know that yet. By the way, she was talking to me. She made it seem like I was in love with you or something and jealous of the things you both have together. And honestly, I'm not as concerned about any of that private stuff. I'm old enough now to understand everyone does things like that with their partner. Now tell me, did you really end up giving her the password to your phone?
Yeah, I did. I'm not doing anything wrong, so I thought there'd be nothing on my phone for her to find. She had asked me to tell her my password before, so I told her. And, well, I don't mind her having my password inside her head, but using it to go into my phone and steal your phone number? That just doesn't sit right with me.
And she didn't even text me from your phone. Rather, she used her own phone to message me last night. And I feel as though she has my information saved in her phone now. I don't like that at all, Arnie. It feels like this won't be the last time she'll text me about things like that.
I don't feel all right about any of this either. But I'm sure she was just playing around at the time, because she's not that bad of a person. I'm sure she had a reason for it, right? Maybe she just wanted to make sure you really were you, and that she had your phone number correct in her phone?
No. I don't really think what she was saying last night was okay, though. Do you? Last night, she really did not sit right with me about the things she was saying. She started calling me a middle-aged woman and things like that, when I'm only just about to turn 30. And right from the moment she started to text me, it felt like she wanted to start something.
Is that how it really felt? I'm sorry, Lori. Let me tell you something a little interesting about her. Willa happens to have me on a leash at all times, and wants to make sure that I'm always hers. A lot of people will call her cute and innocent, but that's just a mask she puts on covering up the real Willa. I'm not saying that she's a bad person for being the way she is, but I just wanted to let you know she's very protective of me.
I guess I've never really been around anyone like that before. Well, even if she was trying to be protective or whatever, her texting me like that at night was a little bit, well, calling me by my name, only to turn around and start talking down to me because of my age. That's not a good first impression towards her boyfriend's sister, right?
I'm sure she had just started off on the wrong foot is all. She went out searching for your number after all, right? So I'm sure the next time she comes to talk to you, she'll feel more controlled and will hopefully not start making fun of your age again. If you don't mind, I'll watch to make sure that she's not getting too out of hand, alright?
Really? I've always known you as being very friendly towards everyone you meet. But I feel like with her, you're being too nice and are letting her do as she wants. That worries me a little. Are you really okay with her being a very protective woman who has you on this so-called leash?
I wonder. But I don't think you have to be all that worried about her and I. I'll go and let her know about what you've said, and make sure that from here on out, she is a bit more kind towards you. There might also be another reason behind her acting like that, though. She might have just been a little anxious because it was her first time talking to you, and right after she had been looking through my phone.
I'm sure thinking of it that way is all right. But you telling her to be a bit more kind towards me and you letting her get away with stuff like that are two different things. So just make sure you warn her properly so that she doesn't feel as though she can act that same way towards me again. Just because she's protective of you doesn't mean she gets a pass to be as rude as she wants towards me.
Alright, I understand. I'm sure being called middle-aged like that must have really upset you then, right?
You know dang well that I'm upset over that. I already know that I'm going into my 30s now. And I have plans for what I'll do as I get older, so there is no need for her to start making fun of me when I'm only 29 and still have my whole life ahead of me. She told me I look like I'm in my mid-30s after looking at my profile picture, Arnie.
Ah, that's a little bit too far there. I'm sorry. I'll make sure to warn her about acting like that. But let's be honest, Lori. Your profile picture right now looks nothing like you. So why not send me a new photo of you so that I can update it?
I don't want to hear that from you now, too.
I didn't mean it like that. Lori? By the way, are you going to be coming to my wedding? I thought it would be nice to send you an invitation in the mail. But before doing that, I thought I'd just ask.
Well, actually, I think I can make things work with my schedule. I'm working on adjusting my schedule as we speak, actually.
What? Seriously? So you'll really be able to make it?
Well, you should have already known that I want to be there, right? I get that there was that one scuffle between Willa and I, but this is still the wedding for my little brother.
So you're going to be alright with work and everything? Recently, you've been having to go on a lot of business trips and have been tied up in so many projects, so I'm sure this is difficult for you, right? You also happen to be overseas quite a lot, so it's been a while since we last met. So that must mean that this time you're planning on coming back to Ohio for my wedding?
Well, I'm still really tied down with work, but I was already planning on coming back to Ohio for some other things, so I'll fit your wedding in during that time as well. And I'm sure to you, my job is really busy looking, but I've worked hard to get where I'm at now in the company. I've made a pretty good image for myself here, so I can do things my own way at times.
Really? You're just saying that about yourself? Well, you've always been a really hardworking person, so I think you have the right to say you're viewed well by your company and can swing some things with them. You've been working the job you always wanted to this whole time, and look good doing it. So it's no wonder you've got some power there now.
Right? So that's why I'm lining things up to be back in Ohio during the time of your wedding.
Alright. Well then, I'm looking forward to seeing you after so long. I'll see you then.
See you then, Arnie. I'm looking forward to your wedding. What do you think you're doing? Coming at me like that, wanting to punch me, and then actually hitting me? What the hell do you have against me, of all people, Willa? Why the hell would the old woman that threw away my man be coming to his wedding? I punched you in the face because I am not going to let one of his ex-girlfriends come storming in here like that. Now get your sad butt out of here. I'm not letting you take him back. Huh? Who is this ex-girlfriend you're talking about? You thought I was going to take him from you? Willa, I think you have the complete wrong idea of me. Huh? The relationship I have with Arnie? He's my brother. My little brother. What? Huh? Are you kidding me? This is just some stupid excuse now, right? If that's what you think, then take a look at the guest list. Ah, and I said that I was coming to this wedding last minute, so my name should be written on there at the bottom of the list. Lori, older sister. Huh? Oh, that's right. So you must be his older sister. Wow. That was just a joke, all right? You should know that all of this was a joke from the start, right? What about all of that was a joke? Well, you should know that all of that was a joke. I'm sorry about hitting you like that out of nowhere, though. That was my first time meeting you in person, so I was a little shocked. And well, I just happen to be a very outgoing person, and my gesture just managed to hit you in the face accidentally. I can totally see how flustered you are right now over what you just did to me by using such a lame excuse as that. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think any excuse is going to work for you now because you punched me in front of everyone. Causing such a mess at your own wedding really just shows how toxic you are. Well, I'm not that strong of a girl anyway, so I'm sure it didn't hurt, right? I really just made a small mistake with my hands was all. So if you please not make such a huge deal out of this, that would help me a lot. Today is the day of my very important wedding, right? I'm over this. My brother has even been a bit worried about things after that first instance. And after seeing this happen to me, he's completely upset with you. I don't think you guys are going to be having a wedding now after that stupid move by you. What? No, what happened was just an accident, right? Because I really didn't believe that you'd be coming today. I just assumed you were his ex-girlfriend or something, So, you're telling me that if I really was his ex-girlfriend, you would have been punching me on purpose without talking things over first? No way. I get that Arnie is a really kind and open-hearted man, but when it comes to things like violence, he really, really hates it. But Arnie never even called you his older sister or anything. He called you by your name. Has he called to you as his big sister, then things would have been different. I had no clue who you really were when you walked in. We have always called one another by our names, as most normal siblings do to one another. We also happen to be really close to one another, so that's why we are always hugging and everything. I can see why you might see me as more than just a sister at times, but that is in no way an excuse to come up and punch me in the face. I'm so sorry about what happened. Where are you at right now, Lori? Do you think you can come back out here now? Right now, the wedding has just been put on hold, and it's not looking like it'll start again without you here. You say it's put on hold, but to me, I'd call that canceled. There's no way it is. I already went all over town bragging about how I'd become a wife at such a young age. If after doing all that, my wedding is canceled? Not good. Are you kidding me? You just punched the groom's sister in the face, and you think that's not worth canceling the wedding over? Wait, that's not what I meant by that. But you have to see that canceling a wedding for that is taking things way too far. And I'm sure if you just come back out here, things would all settle down, right? I'm not messing around right now. Huh? I had tried to look at you open-mindedly because you are the woman that Arnie's been in love with. But after what you just done to me, I am no longer going to let my little brother marry a freak like you. Right now, I have all my family with me, and they are all pissed after looking at what you've been saying to me. And your parents are here right now on their hands and knees apologizing to us. That's how serious things have become? Hey, where are all of you at right now? We are all in a room right now gathered around while I have ice put on my face to get the swelling to go down. And Arnie has been standing next to me this whole time, his face ghostly white, as he keeps saying sorry to me. I'm going to come and apologize now as well. I don't want to see your freaking face ever again, you jerk. I don't need any form of an apology from you, so just get lost, you freak. I'm going to be bringing something like this to the police, so you better have your wallet ready to pay up. You're going to the police? Wait, now you're really taking things too far. That was just a small family fight, right? Family? I was just punched in the face by a woman I've never met before in person, and you want to call it a small family fight? I was bleeding from my nose for a while there, and my clothing is all covered in blood. And everyone saw that it happened in this building still, so you're not getting away with any of what you've done. I'm so sorry, Lori. I think that I really went a bit overboard there, and I'm sorry for that. So do you think we can please stop it with all this talk about police and getting money from me and bring things back to normal? And one other thing, your father happens to be one of my customers. Because of what's happened here today, I think the contract we've had between one another is going to end. I'm sure when that happens, you won't look so good anymore to your own family. But this all comes down to having been your fault, so you're going to learn not to act like a total jerk ever again. Huh? Wait a second. Don't you feel that something like that has nothing to do with us? What are you even talking about, Lori? Have you known about my father before knowing me? Yes, that's right. When he came in here to apologize for you after you hit me in the face, I realized who he was. He happens to be the CEO of a small company that works closely to the company I'm a part of. But after today, I don't want anything to do with any of your family. So after today, I'm going to have the contract him and my company have had together torn up and thrown away. Wait a second, please. That really has nothing to do with what I did to you today. Him and his company have nothing to do with the rude things I did to you, all right? So please, don't punish him for it. But his company does have a lot to do with this. If I continue to let him work with me, then he's never going to realize just how much of a failure he was as a parent for raising such a rude freak like you. I'm going to have your parents be just as responsible as you are for punching me in the face. Why would you ever do that, though? I think you and your family should prepare for what's going to be coming next. I'm not sure if all your actions had to do with you having a leash on my brother or because you are overprotective of him. But someone who thinks they can resort to violence like that should be punished for it. But in my case, I still haven't really experienced the real world yet, so I'm not totally familiar with all the rules in society yet. I'm going to try a lot harder now to act like an adult, so would you please just let me go? Just hearing you say something as ridiculous as that has made my blood boil. You thought that I let you off the hook for an excuse like that? And you think that I let your father get away with raising someone as sloppily as he has for that? Well, I guess you're right. You are still young, and you haven't fully learned all the rules in the real world yet. So I'm going to help you out right now. I had planned on becoming a housewife right after getting married to Arnie, but now I'm thinking I'll get myself a part-time job and come to learn what this world is all about. Well, you can go do whatever you want, but just know that Arnie isn't going to marry you anymore. So you're not going to ever become a housewife at this rate. Are you being serious? But I still haven't come around to finding any work just yet. I have been thinking that my whole life would be about being his housewife. I can get a part-time job for just a little bit to learn about the world and then become his housewife, right? I don't care about what you want, Willa. By the way, while we've been chatting, Arnie's been looking into your past a bit more. Have you been messing with one of his actual ex-girlfriends? What? No. I was just trying to scare them a little bit so they'd stay away. Actually, I went ahead and gathered all of the numbers of the women he's been talking to lately. He knows about how you found one of them and hit them as well? And about how with another one of his ex-girlfriends, you tripped her, spraining her ankle? I don't think that any of this is even remotely okay. Do you? Well, I was just making sure none of those crazy women would ever try laying their hands on him ever again. Then, can you tell me why you happen to have a lot of your own men lined up for you? What? Why do you know about that? Well, I had just assumed you were that type of girl. And so, after looking around, I found out that you used to work as a host, and you got paid pretty well doing that sort of work. And because of that job, you have quite a few men attached to you still. I know that now you're not working as a host anymore. But what's going on there? No, that's, you could say that those guys are all just, I don't have any attachments to them anymore. So, this is why you're being such a witch then. Because you've been doing some not-so-good things behind Arnie's back, you're paranoid he might be doing the same? And to stop all that, you've been taking out his ex-girlfriends? Well, the reasoning doesn't really matter to me now, as you're not going to be with Arnie any longer. Please, I will change after all that's happened here. Can you please let me go talk to Arnie about all of this? Arnie doesn't want to talk to you anymore. He's learned all about the real you today, and nobody in my family wants you around anymore. Please, learn after today that the way you are now is not going to cut it in the real world. You are too toxic of a woman for any man to want to love at this point. So your best bet is to find a job you really like and start working and learning from that. Now, have fun in the hell that's awaiting you after today. After that, the marriage between Arnie and Willa ended up falling through, and she tried to run to him crying for his forgiveness, but it was already too late. After a while, all of Willa's family had cut ties to Willa, and because of that, Lori decided it wouldn't be necessary to end the contract with Willa's father. But even with the contract still standing, life for Willa hasn't been all too great back at her parents' house, while she's living the life of a shut-in, locked up in her room. Lori also made sure to bring up the assault with the police, so even if Willa tries to find a job or anything, it's going to be very hard for a company to want to hire her. Especially since they're going to follow up with her about what happened, and might even need to take her into custody, depending on what my lawyer will want done with her. I was thinking just a small settlement from her would suffice for the damage she did by hitting me, but we'll just have to wait and see. This may not be the life Willa was bragging about to everyone, but this is the life that she needs to live in order to learn. So I'm hoping in time, this all teaches her one of the most important lessons in her life, and she never acts like a complete idiot again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.